Hey guys, it's Lisa with Are You My Cousin? And I am really excited about today's Facebook Live. It is on a Friday, not on a Thursday. This week, as you know, we have been running a challenge here on the Are You My Cousin Facebook page for digitizing our photographs. We're trying to get them out of our shoeboxes, out of our storage boxes, and get them digitized to start to preserve them and to share those photographs as we go forward with our research, so that, heaven forbid, something ever happens to our original photographs, we have digital copies that we can share among our families and not lose those precious images. So I challenged everybody this week for 5 days to digitize 10 photographs a day, and to share them if you wanted. That was totally optional, but to share those with me on the Facebook threads. And I've seen some really amazing photographs, guys. I love them. I've been sharing some of mine. I tried to get a really good cross-section of different types of photographs out there, everything from Halloween in the spirit of the fall season. And yes, that was a picture of myself and my brother and Halloween, and to just photos of the old homestead, to photos of my grandmother when she was a young child. So I really tried to get a good cross section of those as well. If you are just finding out about this challenge, if you were busy, if you didn't get it all done, there is no worries, guys. There is never failing in this particular challenge as long as you start. So start whenever you want to. If you missed a day, if you're just now starting, go ahead for 5 days in a row and scan 10 photos a day. You will be amazed. At the end, you'll have 50 photographs that have been scanned, and that can be a significant amount. I did hear from a lot of you guys that several of you have already done your collections over the past years, and we're talking thousands of photographs, and I'm so impressed, and I'm far behind you guys. I'm still working through the process myself. So I've had a lot of fun with it. I hope you have. It's not too late. Feel free to go ahead and share those photographs in the Facebook page. It's perfectly fine. Okay, guys, so for today's Facebook Live, I have a really fun thing to do for us today. I'm going to show you how to use Flickr and how to use it as a strategy for getting some of your unknown photographs identified. If you are just joining us for our very first time, welcome to one of the Are You My Cousin Facebook Lives. I try to do them every week here on the Facebook page. If you are joining us, if somebody in the group doesn't mind just giving me at least a thumbs up or hello, that will let me know that you guys are seeing everything and hearing everything okay, and I don't need to worry about the tech end of things. So that would be great. I'm going to be sharing my screen with you here in a few minutes, so I'll be showing you really just a tutorial. I'm going to run through what I do. Oh, thank you so much for letting me know you guys can hear it. I'm going to have a tutorial for you guys to show you what I do for creating these Flickr albums, to share them and how I share them and where I share them to get photographs identified. Oh, hey, Kelly, so nice you joined me. Thank you for that. Okay, let me see if there are any more announcements I need to go. So we talked about the challenge. If you were finding that scanning 10 photos at a time was very time consuming, I want to refer you back to a video I did a couple days ago. You'll find it in the video tab of the Facebook page, where I give you some helpful tips about making that process go faster. And because it really shouldn't take you an hour to scan 10 photographs. It was taking me quite a while at the start because I was really going down some rabbit trails. So I wanted to share with you some of the tips that I came up with to help make that process smoother. So go ahead and you can refer back to that video to help you in that process. The other thing, just wanted to tell you, is that upcoming next week, starts on Monday. Actually, my new ebook will be available. It is about identifying those unknown individuals in your family photographs. So that will be available starting on Monday. You'll see it in your email next Monday. It is actually a rewrite of a book I wrote a number of years ago, but it's about 3 times as long as it was. So I really expanded it and tried to go into a lot more examples. And I really had a lot of fun writing that book. And I came across so many fun photos with that as well. So that's going on. And just to give you guys one more exciting thing that happened here in the Are You My Cousin world is that I was featured in the 15th anniversary Google Books celebration. Yesterday, their video and their blog post went live. I shared it on the Facebook group, but I was so excited to be a part of that. They actually found me through my website on the article I wrote on Google Books. They contacted me, one thing led to another, and that was my quick trip out to San Francisco last month, where they had me out and filmed me and filmed my interview, and it is out and available for you to see. So it was thrilling, and I just learned so much. It was a lot of fun. Plus, I got to share genealogy with a lot of folks who had no idea what I did. So that's even better. Hey, Debbie, it's nice that you could join me. All right, let's get to Flickr, guys. Now, if you're not familiar with Flickr, it is a photo sharing or kind of a cloud storage photo sharing site. It used to be owned by Yahoo. It is, I think back in 2018, it was bought by SmugMug. But it still works really well, and it's great for my purposes, which the primary purpose for me was trying to get some photographs identified. Now, the nice thing about with Flickr and these things is that you can upload your photographs. There's a free plan and a pro plan or paid plan. The free plan is perfect for my needs. I don't need to go into the paid plan, but the free plan really is just perfect for me. And it allows me to upload photographs, up to 1,000 photographs. And I have a lot. I don't know that I have 1,000, but I have a lot of photographs. So I'm well in my limit. It lets me organize photographs. It lets me edit photographs. It lets me add descriptions to photographs, and it makes it for easy sharing. So that is what I want to show you over there on Flickr. All right, I'm seeing comments come up. Hey, Wendy. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And you are welcome. I love to help you guys out. Okay, so I am now going to share my screen, guys. I'm going to head over to Flickr and show you what I do. So give me just one sec here to get everything in the right there. Now, when I go into sharing my screen, guys, I won't be able to see your comments. So I will stop and come back and look at the comments to make sure I get questions. It's just me flying solo today, so I don't have anybody monitoring those comments for me. Okay, so you should be able to see my Flickr screen there. In fact, I am going to pull it up on my phone and make sure you guys are seeing it just fine as well. Isn't that great? Just technology all around, guys. Let's see, here we go. So you're seeing, this is my homepage on my Flickr page. Like I said, it used to be part of Yahoo. Now it is, oh good, it's coming up good. Now it is part of SmugMug. So when you come into this, it is, again, you just have to create a free account. And everything I do on here is free. Now, for our purposes, what I do is I'm going to go under my page, and I'm going to go into my photo stream, and I want to show you what that looks like. So this is sort of my personal homepage. In other words, it's got all my photographs that I've uploaded here. And as you can see, most of them, well, all of them are ancestry related. And that is working well. I'm looking to see if it's working for you guys, if you guys are seeing that okay. Is it? Yeah, okay, good, it's coming up. I just wanted to make sure. I was monitoring it on my phone, guys, to make sure you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. And it looks good. Okay, so here we go. These are all the photographs. If you have never uploaded a photograph, it's really quite easy. On Flickr, you just go over here to this little cloud button icon over here, and you can click upload. See, it tells me I can upload almost 700 more, so I'm well within my free limits here. And I'm going to just share, I'm going to go ahead and upload this photograph right here. You guys, I shared this with you earlier on the week. And there it is. Now, what I can do here, I can go in and I can add a description. It's already titled because I had labeled the photograph. It's Anita and Ernest's car. So what I can do, and I like to do this, and I'll show you why shortly. I like to add a description. So it's Anita, I might put in siblings, Anita and Ernest Carr, children of Winnie, Haley, and Silas. Baker Carr. I don't type well in front of people. And then I'm probably going to go ahead and put in a location. Excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. Halifax, County, Virginia. And since I do know the date, was about, oh, wait a minute, it was 1921. And so I'm going to go ahead and put that in there, and I can save that. And I'm going to upload that. I'm going to let it be public. And it said, yeehaw, I've uploaded. And there it is. So that's really, guys, that's how easy it is to upload a photograph there. Now, what I then do is I actually put my photographs into albums. So I create albums, and you can do that quite easily. You can see these are samples of mine. This is a sample that I did earlier. I've got one for the Talbot family. Here's one on a scrapbook. This was my grandmother's scrapbook. Again, I typically did these in family surname type groupings or cemetery research projects. Now, this is the one that I want to really get into today, and that is the unidentified ancestors. Let me go into that. Okay, so I'm into my unidentified ancestors album. Now, how this came about is because I really ended up with a really big problem at one point. I inherited all these photographs, which was not the problem. That was the good part of the problem. The problem is most of them were not actually labeled. So I didn't know who they were. And I did not know, I worked and asked family members and got a lot labeled, but I still was missing so many that were not labeled. And what I came to realize is that I suspected that some of the things that were not labeled were either very distant cousins or really were not even people that were related to me or part of it. They were friends or neighbors, acquaintances, that type of thing. So I really wasn't sure. I could get the date and I could get, the right side of the family that they were connected to, but I just couldn't get beyond a certain point. And at that point, I realized I needed more than anything else, more eyeballs looking at these photographs. I needed people to look at these photographs. So I decided, okay, great place. Let's start with the genealogy societies. And so I'm part of a lot of Facebook groups for genealogy societies based in counties and places that I research. But I felt kind of funny putting in, 10, 20 photographs at a time that I needed to get identified. So I actually came up with this, where I created this album in Flickr, labeled it, and uploaded all of these photographs into it. And then I was going to take these and share. I share the album with different genealogical groups and different people that I meet. I send the link out to relatives far and wide. And that's how I started to share it. Now, on these individual photographs, one of the things I wanted to show you is that how I set these up. So these first 3 photographs, I still to this day have not identified. So here's a woman that I have a photograph of. And what I did is I go in and I label this photograph. And I try to give some information so that if somebody should see this, maybe it will trigger their thought process, or they'll give up. But I said that this could be a friend or a cousin of Esther Lee Richardson Talbot, and that this photograph was likely taken in Pittsylvania County, Virginia, or Halifax County, Virginia, trying to jog somebody's memory, or somebody might recognize one of the surnames, might recognize one of the locations, just trying to help folks out as much as I possibly can when it came to seeing these photographs and maybe knowing who they were. So that's what I did with these. Now, how did I share it? Okay, so when you create an album, you name the album, you can write a description up here. I just wrote something very simple, that I'm trying to get everything identified, that if somebody recognizes an individual, could they leave a comment, because they can leave comments here as well. And then I took this little button right here, and this is the important part, is I wanted to share it. So I click on that share button, and it gives me lots of ways to share. So a couple things. I could share directly to Facebook, for instance. There we go. I can go and I can share it on my personal page. I could share it to a group that I might be in. I could share it to a friend's timeline. I could share it to the page that I am manage, which is this page. I don't think it'll let me while I'm actually filming. So I can write and say, hey guys, could you take a look at this Flickr album? I have a lot of photographs. I'm not sure who they are. Could you take a look and see if you know anybody, and work that way? I can share it that way. Let's see if I can go ahead and share. Okay. Another great thing, this is what I do most often, guys, is I click that link, and that is, I take that, I copy it, and I paste it into emails. So I might send to a cousin and say, hey guys, could you guys look at this and see what you know? I'll put it into a Facebook group. For instance, I am part of the Halifax County, Virginia Facebook group, Genealogy Facebook group. So I take that and I post that in there and say, hey guys, I've got a lot of photographs. Many of them, I'm sure, are from Halifax County, surrounding counties. Could you guys take a look? I might have your ancestor in my closet. And people will go on there and help me and give me clues. Maybe they know somebody, they can identify a photograph, or maybe they know somebody else who might need to look at it, and they can share it that way as well. I'm always asking them to share that link further if they know somebody that it could help with. So it's very easy breezy. Just copy that link and you are good to go. So how did this work? How did this all work? This is a really interesting thing for me. When I came up with this idea, I had several photographs that I really wanted to get identified. These first three being three of the ones. In fact, I'm still working on these guys. So if you recognize them, let me know. And so I created the album. I took that email, that link, and I emailed it to, I put it in Facebook groups for some of the southern borders counties, genealogy societies in Virginia. And I also emailed it to some of the societies directly and said, hey guys, I research a lot of ancestors in that area. Here's a link to my photo album. See if you guys recognize, these might very well be some of the residents in the county that lived in the county where you are. And so I did that. And I actually had a gentleman from I believe it was the Charlotte County, it may have been Mecklenburg County area, Virginia, who responded back to me. And he said, you know what? He said, I don't know I don't recognize any of these, but there's somebody you need to talk to. He said, he is a Richardson family researcher. He's done it extensively, and he has literally written a book on it. He said, could I here's his email address, send it off. So I sent it off to him and said, hey, could you take a look at this? I'm trying to identify these first few photographs. Could you help me out? Or if you recognize anybody else. He emailed me back and he said, he was very gracious. He said, you know what? He said, I don't know who those first three are. He said, but I can tell you who some of the other people are. And he pulled up this photograph right here. He said, those are my grandparents. And that is taken in, I believe it was Washington State. Now, guys, you got to understand something. I just about fell out of my chair, and I did the genealogy happy dance here in my little office. And the reason is this photograph, it's from out west, from Washington State. There is only one sibling or one person out of that whole clan that I was researching that left the area, basically. Everybody else. So basically, this is my great-grandmother's aunt. She's the only one who left the area. They wrote letters back and forth. And so I got every single one of these people identified. This was taken out in Washington State. Now, my great-grandmother she died when she was 27 years old of tuberculosis. She never left the state of Virginia. Yet this photograph found its way from Washington State all the way into her photo collection and into the trunk that I eventually inherited with all the photos in it. The gentleman who had this photograph, he lives in Alaska. He's 3,000 miles away. He's somewhere in the third cousin, twice removed range on my family tree. So he's quite distant geographically as well as relationship-wise on the family tree. We went back and forth and shared, and it turns out he has a picture of my great-grandmother, Esther, he found it in his mother's photo album. Again, guys, she never left the state of Virginia, and she died at the age of 27. So nobody is too far away. And it was by sharing a Flickr album that somebody saw, that knew somebody that got the photograph identified, and a few more as well. So that's that's my takeaway for you guys, is to do whatever you have to get more eyes on the photos. So when he identified it, I went in and I was able to adjust the description down here to identify who they are. So it was quite exciting for me to be able to do that. Okay, guys, I'm coming back to you here. Hey guys, I'm back. So let me check the comments. Hey guys, like I said, let me make sure there were any questions. If you have questions, guys, pop them into the comments. I will be happy to hop back over to Flickr if we need to. Hey Linda, so nice to have you. Oh good, I'm glad you guys saw everything well there. Hey Jean, I love seeing where everybody's from. I think it's a lot of fun to do that. So that is a fabulous. Flickr is a really great tool to do that with. You can actually do that with Google Photos as well. I'll have to do a video on that sometime as well. I just had gotten started with Flickr a long time ago, and so had kind of stayed with that platform. But there are other platforms you can do that with. Like I said, Google Photos, you can do that as well. Again, the important thing is you're getting eyeballs on your photographs to get them identified. And it's the other thing I really want to point out when it comes to that is that you are trying to reach out beyond just your family that you know. Reach out to very, very distant cousins. Reach out to genealogy societies, historical societies, and those groups, because they're the groups who know other people. And just as when you're doing an oral history interview, make sure that never leave that oral history interview without asking, who else should I talk to? And again, don't ever leave, when you're sending out these links, a link to your photo album, don't ever, always ask for ideas of where else should I share this? Or do you know somebody? Or please share this with somebody you think might know these people. Again, always asking to kind of get that next step forward and around. That's going to help you. Hey, Debbie. Debbie says, did Dead Fred help? So guys, if those of you who aren't familiar with Dead Fred, it's deadfred.com. And it is a good site, Debbie. It is kind of a little bit of an orphan site, I guess. I don't know if you call it an orphan photo site or not, but you can upload photos there and people will help you identify there. You can search. Also, you can search it by location, I think, and you can search by photographer over there. It is a very good site and it will help. I can't say I have personally had a lot of success over there. I think actually what I have tended to use Dead Fred for is actually looking at the photographers, because they'll have them. There's a section where you can search by photographers and location. And I've gone in there to look at styles of certain photographers to see if I can narrow down which photographer in an area might have taken pictures in my collection. So I've kind of used it in a backwards way, not so much to get people identified. I don't know if anybody who's listening has had success with Dead Fred. I'd love to hear what you think. And if you have had, I just would love to hear your success stories on that as well. I think that would be a good thing to know. A lot of good ways to go about that. So yeah. So Flickr, you can do it with Flickr. You can do it with Google Photos. Dead Fred's a good place to do that. There is a Facebook group called Forgotten Places, Forgotten Faces, or maybe it's Forgotten Faces, Forgotten Places. They also do some posting of orphan type photographs that may have been put up. The ones that I'm looking at have particularly been more, the ones that were in my collection, and I was able to target kind of general geographical areas because I knew what family line they had come from. So that was really helpful to be able to do that. So there you have it, guys. It's quick and easy to do the Flickr albums. I've done it multiple ways. I've seen people who do it divided out in a variety of different ways. I've actually, to let you know, it's been very successful for me. That album that I showed you, I probably have over 50% of that album now has been identified, probably closer to 75%. And so it's time for me to actually move some of those folks out into their appropriate albums or create new albums of identified photographs. And so I can keep trying to get those unidentified ones done. So it's been a very successful way for me to get things identified, and it's been a lot of fun. So that said, I try to make sure I label all my photographs the best I can, because I don't want somebody in the generations in the future coming back to me going, why did you not label my photographs? So there you have it, guys. That's all I've really got for you today. There have been new YouTube videos coming out this week. There's a new one that came out this week, so be sure and check the YouTube channel for Are You My Cousin? I do put new ones out every, I think it's every Wednesday, and then I upload the Facebook Lives on Friday, so that'll come up. Oh, there's a good, Debbie just posted a link for a website that has helped her with identifying Swedish unknowns. That's a great resource, Debbie. Thank you for that. You know, I hadn't really thought about that, but that kind of brings to mind when you have the ethnic type. So you're looking for specifically Swedish unknowns. So there might be sites out there to have that might, you know, have other ethnics or other people from local regions that are specific to that. And if any of you guys know that, feel free to drop those in the comments either now or later. If you're watching this on replay, that would be great. Would love to see those as well. Just to kind of, we can keep a running list, and that way we can help folks out with that. That'd be a great thing. I'm not as up on certainly Swedish research at all. Primarily, I know most of the resources from the southeast of the U.S. But thank you for that, Debbie. Appreciate that. Okay, so that's what I have for you today. Again, check for their YouTube. I am putting up videos twice a week over on the YouTube channel. Next week, I've got the ebook the ebook launch that comes out. So that's coming, and it's going to be a special price for the first week. So just watch your emails for that. And I will tell you, probably get a few more extra emails next week. I'm going to apologize in advance for that. Sort of, but not really, because each of those emails, actually, I'm giving you some really good information about photographs. And I think you'll take something away from that. Well, okay, guys, have a great weekend. Enjoy the beautiful fall weather. It has finally gotten to be fall here in the South. It was taking a long time, but it's finally gotten here. And I look forward to talking to you next week. I've got a really fun topic next week. We're going to again be talking about photographs, but we're going to be talking about our ancestors' wedding photographs. So I'm really excited about that one. All right, Debbie, sounds great. Oh, I'm so glad, Debbie, you've enjoyed the challenge. Again, guys, if you're just jumping in on the challenge or haven't finished, just jump right in where you can and just keep moving forward. No worries about that. You're never behind. In my genealogy world, you're never behind. So take care. Have a great weekend, and I will talk to you next week. Bye, guys.